Sofia Flores felt the cold Seattle rain seep through her jacket as she hurried towards the shining tower of Ethel Technologies. At 32, life felt like a constant race against time and bills. Her passion was graphic design, but her reality was being a full-time caregiver for her ailing mother. This freelance project for Ethel was a golden ticket, her one chance to prove herself and dig out of the debt that had piled up from her mother's medical treatments. Hello, friends, welcome to our story. Before we begin, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to tell us in the comments, where are you joining us from? Tokyo, Sydney, perhaps Paris or Rome? We love hearing from all of you. Morning, Ms. Flores, said the security guard as she swiped her temporary pass. Morning, Joe. Looks like the rain's here to stay, she replied, offering a tired smile. Inside, the lobby was all gleaming marble and silent efficiency. As she rushed to the elevators, her eye caught an elderly janitor slowly mopping a corner. His shoulders were hunched, and his face was tight, as if he was in pain. People in expensive suits walked right past him, not even seeing him. But Sofia noticed. She always noticed the people others ignored. Her workspace was a small, temporary desk in the bustling marketing department. Her boss, Lillian Croft, was a woman who wore sharp suits and had an even sharper tongue. She swept in, not bothering with a "Good morning. The designs for the new software launch need to be on my desk by noon, Sofia," Lillian said, looking at her phone. "And just so you know, Mr. Ethel himself is reviewing our work today. So everything needs to be perfect." "Mr. Ethel? The owner?" Sofia asked, surprised. Alistair Ethel was a tech genius, but also a mystery. He was rarely seen in public. "Yes, the Mr. Ethel," Lillian said, sounding annoyed. "He's taking a sudden interest in the creative department. Don't embarrass me." The morning was a blur of colors, fonts, and last-minute changes. By lunchtime, Sofia's head was spinning. She went down to the cafeteria to grab a coffee and a moment of quiet. As she stood in line, she saw the same elderly janitor from the lobby. He was trying to lift a heavy, overfilled trash bag into his cart. He grunted in pain, his right arm shaking. Without a second thought, Sofia walked over. "Here, let me help you with that," she said gently. She easily lifted the bag and placed it in the cart. The old man looked up, startled. His eyes were a warm blue, full of surprise. That's very kind of you, miss." "It's nothing," she said with a smile. She saw him rubbing his wrist. "Are you hurt?" It's an old injury," he said. "The cold and the damp make it act up. Nothing to worry about." But Sofia was worried. She remembered the constant pain her mother was in. She dug into her own bag and pulled out a brand-new thermal support sleeve she had bought for her mom. "Here," she said, handing it to him. "Please take this. It might help a little." He looked at the sleeve, then back at her face, as if he was trying to understand her. "Why would you do this for a stranger?" he asked. Sofia thought of her mother. "My mom always says you can tell everything about a person's character by how they treat someone who can do nothing for them." She glanced at the clock. "I have to get back. Will you be okay?" He nodded, a softness in his eyes. "Thank you." Sofia hurried back to her desk, feeling a small warmth in her chest. She didn't see Lillian Croft watching her from the upstairs balcony, a disapproving frown on her face. The afternoon crisis hit at 4:45 p.m. Lillian decided she hated the entire color scheme Sofia had been working on for a week. "Sofia, I need you to stay late. We're starting over. I need new concepts by morning," Lillian said, her voice leaving no room for argument. Sofia's heart dropped into her stomach. "Lillian, I'm so sorry, but I can't. I have to be home by 6 for my mother. Her nurse leaves then, and I have no one else." Lillian's eyes turned to ice. "This is not a request. This is a critical project for a major client. I understand, but my mother is sick. She can't be alone," Sofia pleaded. "Then perhaps," Lillian said slowly, A high-pressure career like this isn't the right fit for someone with your personal constraints. The threat was clear. Panicked, Sofia made a flurry of phone calls. Finally, her cousin agreed to stay with her mother for a few hours. Relieved, Sofia buried herself in her work, trying to push down her anger and fear. A few hours later, around 8 p.m., she remembered the old janitor. She wondered if his arm was still hurting. On an impulse, she used her own emergency credit card, the one she used for medical emergencies, to order a hot meal and a proper, high-quality wrist brace from a pharmacy down the street. When the delivery arrived, she took the elevator down to the main floor. She found him in a small janitor's closet, still looking tired. He seemed shocked to see her. "You came back," he said, his voice full of wonder. "I told you I would." She smiled. She handed him the bag with the food and the new brace. "This is a proper brace. It should support your wrist better than that sleeve." He was speechless for a moment. "I can't accept this. This is too much. Please," she insisted. "Consider it a gift from one person having a tough day to another." As she turned to go, he called out softly, "Why risk your job for someone like me?" Sofia paused at the door. "After my dad died, strangers helped my mom and me when we had nothing. I'm just paying that kindness forward." When she got back to her desk, Lillian was waiting for her, arms crossed. The head of security was with her. "Sofia, we've been reviewing the building's resource logs. You used the company's premium delivery account for a personal purchase," Lillian said, a triumphant look on her face. "What?" "No, I used my own card. I have the receipt right here." Sofia fumbled in her bag. "It's not about the money," Lillian said coldly. "It's about the misuse of a corporate resource. That's a violation of company policy." The security guard looked uncomfortable. "I'm sorry, Ms. Flores, but Ms. Croft has filed a formal complaint. We have to terminate your contract immediately. I'll need your badge." Sofia felt the world tilt. She was being fired for buying a sick old man a brace and a meal. She packed her things with trembling hands, the eyes of the entire department on her. Minutes later, she was standing on the sidewalk. The rain was coming down hard now, soaking through her clothes. Tears mixed with the rainwater on her face. The old janitor was nowhere to be seen. All her hopes, all her plans to secure a better life for her and her mother, had just vanished. "What do I do now?" she whispered into the downpour, feeling utterly alone. What Sofia didn't know was that from a dark office on the very top floor, someone had watched the whole scene unfold. The old janitor, now dressed in a simple but elegant linen shirt, stood by the window, watching her walk away. He picked up his phone. "Eleanor? It's Alistair. I need you to do something for me, right away." The next morning, Sofia was at her kitchen table, her laptop open to job search websites. She felt hollowed out. Her mother was still asleep, blissfully unaware that their financial lifeline had just been cut. Her phone rang, showing an unknown number. Hesitantly, she answered. "Is this Sofia Flores?" asked a polite female voice. "Yes, who is this?" "This is Eleanor Vance, Mr. Alistair Ethel's personal assistant. Mr. Ethel was very impressed with your work and would like to meet with you today at 11 a.m. Sofia was stunned. "Mr. Ethel? But I was fired last night. Mr. Ethel is aware of the situation. A car will be sent for you. What is your address?" An hour later, a sleek, quiet car pulled up to her modest apartment building. The driver, a professional woman named Eleanor, ushered her inside. Instead of going to the office tower, they drove to a beautiful, modern house overlooking Lake Washington. Eleanor led her into a stunning room that was part art studio, part library. Canvases and half-finished sculptures stood next to bookshelves. And there, standing by a large window, was the old janitor. But he wasn't an old janitor anymore. He stood straighter, his kind eyes now sharp and intelligent. He was dressed in clean, expensive clothes. "Hello, Sofia," he said, his voice familiar but now filled with a new authority. "Jack," Sofia whispered, completely confused. Alistair Ethel, actually, he said with a gentle smile. Please sit down. He explained that once a year, he worked incognito in a different department of his company. You can't understand a business just from reports and board meetings. You have to see it from the ground up. You have to feel its heart. He looked at her with deep respect. In all the years I've done this, you are the only person who ever saw me not as a janitor, but as a human being who was hurting. And for that simple act of kindness, you were punished. Sofia listened, her mind reeling. Lillian Croft had no right to fire you, Alistair said firmly. Your contract is reinstated, effective immediately. You will be paid for the time you missed. Tears of relief welled in Sofia's eyes. Thank you, Mr. Ethel. You have no idea what this means to me and my mother. But that's not all, he continued. I've reviewed your design portfolio. It's excellent. But what you have that can't be taught is empathy. You see people. That is a gift. He slid a folder across the table. I am creating a new human-centered design division. Its goal is to make our technology more intuitive, more accessible, and more kind. I want you to be its creative director. The salary is double what you were making as a freelancer, and it includes full health benefits for you and your mother. You can set your own hours. Sofia was speechless. She looked at the number on the offer sheet. It was more money than she had ever dreamed of. It meant security. It meant her mother could get better care. It meant no more lying awake at night, terrified. Are you offering this to me because you feel sorry for me? She asked honestly. I'm offering this to you, Alistair said, because your compassion in the hallway showed more leadership than Lillian Croft has in her entire body. I'm not rewarding your kindness, Sofia. I'm investing in it. Sofia accepted the job. Her first few weeks were a whirlwind. She had a beautiful new office with a view. Her team was passionate and brilliant. For the first time, her work felt meaningful. She was designing not just to sell products, but to truly help people. Alistair became a mentor and slowly a friend. He often asked about her mother, and he listened when she talked about the challenges of being a caregiver. Weeks later, at the company's annual gala, Alistair found her on a quiet terrace overlooking the glittering city lights. You've changed the atmosphere here, Sofia, he said. People are talking about empathy, about the user. You've reminded us what it's all about. He handed her a small velvet box. Inside was a beautiful silver bracelet. Hanging from it was a tiny, delicate paintbrush intertwined with a medical symbol. It's to remind us, Alistair said softly, that the best ideas, the most important innovations, happen where creativity and compassion meet. As he helped her fasten it around her wrist, Sofia felt a sense of peace she hadn't known in years. She looked at the city lights, then at the kind, brilliant man beside her. Her future was no longer a scary, uncertain path. It was bright and full of promise. And it had all started with a simple decision to help a stranger in pain. She had reached out a hand, and in return, the world had opened its arms to her. If Sofia's story of kindness and unexpected rewards inspired you, please let us know. Hit that like button, share this video with a friend who needs a little hope, and leave a comment below telling us about a time when kindness made all the difference in your life.